Hey, movie friends, welcome back to the show. This is Anthony.
And this is James, and we're going to enter The Matrix for the first time in a while in terms of reacting to the trailer of The Matrix for The Matrix Resurrections, which we just watched. It is 6:10 a.m. Sorry for the appearance of looking sleepy. We just woke up, but we had to react to it ASAP because, The Matrix is one of our favorite movies of all time, and, we have mixed feelings about the second and third. And it seems like the fourth, they're trying to do some sort of redemption for what they did, specifically Lana Wachowski, since she's the only one directing and writing. So I'm very curious to see this movie. Obviously, we'll be there opening night for sure. It looks really cool, but also at the same time, it looks like it could be messed up if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's probably because they didn't reveal too much footage. Mm-hmm. They revealed definitely a few action sequences, definitely for sure an action sequence on a bullet train that looks pretty cool, but ultimately it's a little mixed in terms of the reaction of the footage. It doesn't look like I was totally blown away by it.
It doesn't fully look like The Matrix,
Yeah, and because it looks like Lily is going with a more naturalistic... Lana is going with a more naturalistic approach to the cinematography and filmmaking. There's a lot of natural lighting in it. You can tell, especially from sunlight, especially just from natural rooms pouring in through windows. So it definitely... And it also doesn't have the green color palette. So, but I think that
they want us to feel like we're in The Matrix. I think she wants us to realize that we're Neo, we're in The Matrix. I don't know if it seems like it's a new cycle of The Matrix because the other one was obviously destroyed. And so it looks like they rebooted The Matrix again, the architect and everything. And so it looks like he's trapped in there as Neo. He looks different than he looks. He doesn't know who he really is. He has a psychiatrist who's played by Neil Patrick Harris, who we can assume is a program, prescribing him the blue pill to keep him in a sheep-like state, not wanting to explore what's going on in his mind, going on with the Matrix, things that are going on, to stay asleep, basically.
It seems as though all of the main characters, at the end of the third film, they were put back into the Matrix, and so something must have happened to cause this to happen, because the architect said that everyone would be unplugged naturally. And so I'm curious to see how they explain that, because it looks like everyone got put back into a restarted, rebooted version of the Matrix, and it does look like they're going with the style of everything seems very perfect visually in terms of Neo being in the Matrix, but also I think that there are different, she's addressing new terms of technology, like the idea of smartphones and smart devices. Like there's a shot of Neo on an elevator and everyone's on a device looking down, and so I think that she might employ that idea as a way of showing that the Matrix has created the ultimate distraction for human beings to be distracted within the Matrix than ever before by use of technology.
It also looks like they're distracting Neo with a very comfortable life. Like he seems like he lives a very cool life. He seems like he's wealthy and just well off. They're trying to keep him in a bubble so he doesn't want to escape. And
something I really like about the look of everything, though, is that there's a lot less leather in this.
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest problems with especially the second movie and the third movie is clearly the Wachowskis are into S&M culture and style, and that everyone has their own unique interests, but I think they put a little too much of that into the movies in terms of every character is dressed in leather outfits, and it felt like so unrealistic. It often took me out of the second movie, seeing this subculture of style that, I understand, plenty of people like this stuff, but not everyone wears this kind of stuff. So I thought that
it became a joke.
Yeah,
that joke in Grandma's Boy is like, how much do clothes cost in the Matrix? Because he dresses like that. But I mean, that's the aesthetic you could say of the film and of the Matrix, which I think plays in a way, especially in the first one. I think it works.
The first one's fine, but
when you have 30, the meeting with all the people, all the unplugged people, and they're all in leather suits and stuff.
Matrix Reloaded, they
in
took
normal
a little too far.
They're not all wearing leather.
They turned the dial to 11.
Yeah, it was a bit much. Let's see. We also got a glimpse at the Oracle, a new version of the Oracle, and a new version of. It seems like, I don't know if it's a new Trinity or the girl with the white rabbit on her tattoo who entices Neo after his computer tells him to follow the white rabbit. A new version of that girl, maybe, with the woman with the blue hair who seems to be a hacker, like you said, and also maybe a new Trinity, who maybe not a new Trinity, but another hacker who seems going to have a huge role in the film.
Yeah, it's definitely not a new Trinity. It's just another hacker because Trinity is in
herself.
The movie.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Like I said, Trinity and Morpheus clearly were also put back into the Matrix because it looks as though Morpheus is going to somehow, I'm guessing Morpheus is going to somehow get his memory of his older self into his younger body, and then Trinity will also be awakened and unplugged, because there's a shot of her in the machine humans towers set world, the harvesting area, where she's unplugging from the Matrix. So Trinity's going to go through her own unplugging, and so I think that it's hard to say exactly who's going to get unplugged first, but I would say that Neo is the last one.
It seems like it'll be the same order as before, but maybe a little expedited. Like, because I want to learn why Morpheus looks young, but why Trinity isn't going to look young, why Lawrence Fishburne's not really going to return, why Neo and Thomas Anderson still look at the same age, but like,
because you can have Lawrence Fishburne, so why have the younger version?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm disappointed big time that Fishburne's not in the movie. I would love to have him back, and I'm disappointed that Agent Smith isn't in it. But it seems like Groff's going to be like a great replacement for that. Maybe like a mix of an agent and the architect. Maybe he's a new version of the architect.
I wouldn't want Agent Smith back, because then it would just be repeating the same thing as before.
Yeah, you're probably right, but
because it seems like Groff is playing more than just an agent. He's playing some kind of program. And he's going to fight, because in the teaser of the website, there's a shot of him literally punching Neo from overhead.
Yeah.
So he's going to fight. He's not particularly essentially an agent. There are agents. They're back. You definitely got a couple shots of them. But in terms of Groff, I think he's something more.
Yeah, so maybe a new agent that's been created, or a new program that's been created to stop the one. And in terms of the combat and action, a lot of it looks really cool. Some of it kind of looked a little cheesy to me, like a little too CGI, kind of like Matrix Revolutions and Reloaded.
That could just be the effects aren't finished.
Yeah,
though.
so I'm not. I think the action looks cool. It doesn't. Some of it looks like things we've never seen before. Like, it seems like Lana expanded on the idea of the powers inside the Matrix rather than just kung fu and jumping really high. Now we have like acrobatics, a lot more acrobatic movements going in the air, like specifically the blue-haired woman, and then even Trinity seems like she has a few more powers. Neo's powers are obviously expanded. He seems like now like a mix of 11 from Stranger Things and Superman without the laser vision. But that's kind of what we always expected him to have, more powers rather than just flying and fighting and stopping bullets, which he does stop bullets in this film.
Yeah, but that was always the second problem I had with the sequels, whereas they didn't ever expand on his powers. He pretty much is, power-wise, from the end of the first movie to the third one, is nothing changed. Whereas,
well, he takes a bullet out of her stomach.
Okay, I'm totally wrong. But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, digital surgery.
Yeah, because he, as the one, he should be able to, as they say, remake the Matrix as they see fit. So he should literally be able to do anything. Nothing is out of bounds for his capacity to do things within the Matrix. So I was always just very much let down in the sequels by him still just fighting people and flying, and that's it. He could literally like erase a building from existence if he wanted to, and he can literally change and manipulate the code however he wants, and that was something they never really explored in the sequels.
It seems like maybe they will, because now we have a huge budget and CGI is so much more advanced than it was in 1999 and the early 2000s. And so, again, I think they're reliving a new cycle of the Matrix. Is he going to be doing the same events? Because it seems like that rooftop that they're on at the end of the film that they jump off, him and Trinity, it looks like the same rooftop in the same building from the original movie at the end of that movie where they have to rescue Morpheus at the end.
From the helicopter?
It seems like it's. I could be wrong, but it seems like that because there's the helicopter that he moves the missile into to blow the missile up. There's SWAT guys on the roof. It looks. I got to go back and watch the Matrix trailer to see if it's the same building, but it looks very similar.
But also, there are two helicopters, so it could be different. But also
maybe same building, but just changed a little bit. It seems like everything's going to be the same, but changed a little.
Yeah, but I think ultimately the direction of what Lana is doing is a lot more closely tied to the first Matrix, because the second two just became all about style and action,
and third one's a war movie.
Yeah, and third one, yeah, exactly, it's a war movie. So I think that she wanted to get back to the philosophical elements, the elements of humanity, of technology that they addressed in the first one, those big themes. And so I think
identity for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that's definitely going to be an improvement for sure. But ultimately, based on the trailer, like you said, it looks cool, but then also it looks kind of questionable. I'm not sure. And also, everyone needs to get their expectations in order. This is not going to be better than The Matrix. There's just no way to make a better movie than that film. It is, without a doubt, a perfect film. One of the best ever made. So I think that in terms of our expectations, we can't put it on the same level as The Matrix, but also we can hope that it will be better than the sequels and be a more faithful sequel to the story.
I'm optimistic. The Matrix, one of my favorite movies. I still like the second and third ones, despite them. They're not obviously close to the first one. We love Keanu. We'll watch him in anything. And so we will be there opening night to see this movie. Can't wait to check it out. Wachowski looks like she's just mixing it up. It looks interesting. New vibe. Definitely am excited. Let's go.
Yeah, Neo's back.
Back in the Matrix.
I just want to see Neo fight agents.
I am inevitable. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the trailer. Let us know what you thought about the trailer on YouTube comments. Let's go.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button, leave a comment. Find us on all audio streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Raiders of the Lost podcast. Be sure to check out one of these other videos right here for more content on our favorite films and breaking down all kinds of movie content. Thanks so much.